Hello, welcome to Rachel Schwinghammer's channel. I can't wait to show you the cake we're making today. It's a unicorn cake. It's every little girl's dream to have a unicorn cake, isn't it? The first thing you do before you assemble a cake is you need to take the tops off of the cakes because you don't want to make a cake that has this rigid top. It doesn't work out very well. So I'm turning the plate, and you can also use a turntable. This is just what I had at the moment, but I started with 5 different layers, and so I'm just doing one layer at a time. Decided it was time to take out the new turntable that my husband had bought me at Walmart if you want to get one also. So cutting off all the tops first, just getting them ready so I have some level surfaces to work with. You can even fold them up and give them to a family member who's just itching to taste the cake. Continue doing this to each layer. I had 5 layers to take the top off of, but you really just want to make sure you have some clean surfaces. Taking the top layers off of each of the cakes, it does take time because I'm slowly turning the cake and trying to do it as really evenly as possible. Investing in one of these turntables can be very helpful because you really want to have the best product possible. If you're going to be doing this more than once, you might be really thankful to just be easily turning it. I'm trying to be really careful as I go along, holding my hand on it, and just as you see, just slowly going in and turning each time. Make sure you use a serrated knife. That is so important. Here are all the cakes. I freeze them in freezer bags. I make them weeks ahead of time because sometimes I only have time to really do 1 or 2 cakes. And I used food coloring and did 5 different colors for this cake. So as you'll see at the end, you'll see the finished product of it cut. Next is one of my favorite parts from allrecipes.com. We made professional buttercream. What I decided to add to this recipe, besides for the butter, vanilla extract, the sugar, and the food coloring. Here you go. In case you want the recipe, I'll also include the link below. I added just a little bit of royal frosting. I felt like when I've made it before, the frosting, it just seemed to be too gooey, too soft. So one way to make it stiffen up, if you don't have royal frosting, would be just add that royal icing. I ordered it on Amazon. The link is included below, but the royal frosting will help it become a little bit more stiff. I put it on the first bit here without the royal frosting and realized this is like very gooey frosting, and it doesn't seem to be holding the shape the best. So I decided to add just a little bit of royal frosting to the pink frosting that I was currently using, and it helped. It really did. It helped to make it stiffer and better, and I used the royal frosting just for the outer crumb coat. And I decided to put the corresponding colored frosting to the cake. So like the blue cake with blue frosting, pink cake with pink frosting, and so on and so forth. One thing I would suggest next time is instead of putting all these different colors of frosting inside, just put one color on the inside with multicolored cakes, because it kind of ended up looking like it looked like kind of extended the cake, but it was like a gooey layer. And I think the look more professional with just one color all the way through, like pink all the way through or white all the way through. I'm making a unicorn cake, so I'm trying to make it the best way that I know know how they've watched from YouTube videos, and I'm not at all a professional baker, and somebody watching this might kind of chuckle at my methods because they can tell that, hey, she's not a professional baker. And my husband lovingly stepped in between so I could get food for our baby. She's still nursing and requires a lot of care that way, but glad to do it. So here, as you see, we did the blue frosting with the blue, green with the green, now the orange with the orange frosting, and my daughter's helping him do the turntable. This is looking kind of like a hamburger. That's what Grandpa said. This looks kind of like a hamburger. He didn't know there were different colored layers. Kind of funny. But I didn't know either that a layered cake was made in this way. I thought somehow the color was, I had no idea how it was made. So watching a cake with different layers, just the time it takes to prepare. You know, I was making two cakes, two separate cakes for two separate birthdays. And so I actually made two 8-inch pans of one color, like one color green or blue or purple or yellow, and a smaller, I believe it was 5-inch pan of that same color. So I made one color at a time, so 3 different small cakes, 2 of them like medium size, you know, and the one was the smaller one, out of just box cakes, which is really cool. So all this is box cake, and I add a couple more eggs some of the time just to give it a little bit more oomph, you know, a little bit more volume. Some of the cakes turned a little taller because of the eggs, so just be careful. If you add too many eggs, it will become pretty tall and you have to cut a lot of the top off. But it can be helpful sometimes having extra volume. So when you put it on, make sure I just kind of poured it all over the top. I just wanted it all over. It was ready to be done, to be honest. Each of these layers taking such a long time in coming, and I'm using that, as you see to the right hand side, a paint scraper, and also the spreader to the frosting that helps like to fill in spots or that sort of thing. And if you watch a previous cake video that I did, when you're doing it in between layers, make sure that you make that big dam first of frosting and go on the inside in between the layers. So I'm trying to fill in all the holes because there seems to be, the paint scraper helps show us where the holes are. So you hold it there. I'm holding it, slowly turning the table and trying to get that nice finish. Some of that green frosting went over the side, and it kind of looks a little airbrushed. I thought that was really cool because I didn't expect it to be airbrushed looking with the other colors coming through, but I think I kind of like it. Kind of makes me want to push other colors off of the edge in between the layers or put too much on so that it squishes over. It kind of gets this interesting like airbrushed kind of look. So this you can really just keep on making your changes to the outside, and there's a point where you just kind of got to stop. So like I said, I added royal icing, so you'll notice that it's a little bit firmer looking when I spread it on the outside than it was on the inside, because a lot of just we even just sometimes use just butter and the confection sugar, and just those two mixed together made a really nice buttercream frosting. And to firm those up, just add more sugar. So that was my unprofessional opinion, and I'm taking out all of the papers because putting the paper on underneath just helps it to not get messy in the bottom when you are doing the sides. And I chose to use some flowers because I don't know how to make flowers yet that are fondant, and I didn't have a ton of time and had some flowers around. Thought, hey, looked up a picture on Pinterest and trying to place the flowers kind of spaced 2 or 3 inches in kind of a pattern, kind of like a honeycomb or a snowflake, giving some space in between them and then filling in with the purple and the green. So I hope you can see here. had some helpers put a couple of flowers on and put the horn on and the ears. I just got these horn and ears from Walmart because I don't got time to make it. I do not have time to make these by scratch. I don't know how. So all of this is just stretching my skills. And the next type cake I make is going to be 2 tiers. So YouTube world, look out. So if you want to see what that looks like, we'll probably put a mane of flowers even farther, maybe starting from the top, and try to put a rainbow on the next one. Because it'll be a little bit taller. So yeah, so in the front I have some cute little flowers. You see I'm just filling them in, trying to fill in the gaps that there is, and decided to put some sprinkles on too. So I have the mane wrapping around, and you can be creative and look up pictures on your own in Pinterest to see actually what it would look like. But this is just a good example of like what you can do to make your own unicorn cake. It's simple in the sense that these are flowers. They're not hard to do like fondant, and you can just get a easy bouquet from Walmart or to wherever you would buy flowers near you and put them on a cake. I'm putting sprinkles on, holding a piece of cardboard up against the bottom and letting them just kind of fall along the edge. Kind of replicate kind of like the ribbon that might be the bottom of the cake. So I have some frosting, and you can put as little or a lot of sprinkles on the bottom. I probably put more in it on the future, but these are really cute decorating beads that my daughter's helping me with. So it's really up to your discretion of how much candy you want on it. Here we go. We are finished. Like, subscribe, comment on my channel. I'd love to hear if you'd like to make this cake, or if you want to make a cake like this in the future using box cakes. It helped me make a cake very inexpensively. Just the decorations and the extra eggs with the box cakes. It's totally doable, and I can make something beautiful and a lovely dream cake for my 3-year-old's daughter's birthday.